Still the morning show right here on the Rise News channel. So for global business updates, Business Correspondent Rotus Oddiri joins us from Washington, D.C. Great to have you, Rotus. How are you? Wow, Rotus.
I'm doing good, Rufai, except it's really cold.
Quite cold.
But good morning to you. Good morning to
Good morning, Rotus.
Good morning to Ayo. It's part of the job. Hey, I love working for Rise News. It's part of the job.
Good.
Yeah.
Good, that's the spirit. Fire down. Tell us
Good morning, Ayo.
Yeah.
Good morning, Vimbai. Good morning, all our viewers. Yes, we're focusing on Africa today. And we're kicking off with Nigeria and Angola. A MOU was signed yesterday here on the sidelines of the IMF World Bank meetings in D.C. Olayemi Cardoso, Governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria, Manuel Thiago Diaz, Governor of the Bank of Angola, signed that MOU to foster bilateral ties between those countries and also enhance, central bank operations between both countries, oversight of money laundering, cross-border payments, and so on and so forth. So, and they also spoke a bit of Portuguese. So, Cardoso comes from descendants of returnees, Nigerian returnees from Brazil. Portugal colonized Brazil, colonized Angola. So there's a bit of, Portuguese between the two of them. But here is Governor Cardoso.
Your Excellency, the Governor of the Bank of Angola, thank you very much for coming here today and for this technical cooperation agreement which we've signed. Of course, this is something that has been long coming. It's been in the works for quite a while. And I'm very pleased that we've been able to execute the agreement today. And quite frankly, it couldn't be coming at a better time and a better place. Why do I say this? Because we all know that this particular forum is one where we get a multiplicity of different stakeholders, interests, people from different countries coming here to visit and create relationships. So I believe that what we've done today highlights the spirit in which we normally all attend the annual and the spring meetings every year. So I'm very pleased that that has happened here today. And I'm also pleased from the perspective that this is really what Africa needs. We need more and more cooperation. We have similar problems. It's an opportunity for us to strengthen, build in some cases, strengthen in other cases, regional understanding and regional cooperation. So I'm very, very, very pleased, and I believe that this is really a landmark for both organizations and for both countries. Obrigado.
Still on the African continent, the United Bank for Africa had a white paper launch, and I mentioned this yesterday when I think it was Vimbai or Ayo that asked to preview what was going to happen yesterday. This launch took place again here in Washington, D.C. Mr. Tony Elumelu, the chair of the United Bank for Africa, as well as the company, believes, there's about, according to the research that they put out there in the white paper, which everyone can download, about $4 trillion estimated in domestic capital that can be, that can be sourced in order to build infrastructure, get jobs, and so on and so forth. And it was well attended. Professor Benedict Orama, who of course is former president of the Afro-Exim Bank, was there. Dr. Doris Ozoka Anite, the Minister of State for Finance, was there. Some, dignitaries, some heads of state. So it was, there was a keynote speech from a professor from Harvard. So it was pretty well attended. Here is Mr. Tony Elumelu speaking, an excerpt of his speech from the white paper launch.
Yesterday I was at the IMF panel for Africa. We know, all of us know, the significance and importance of AI. But we we face certain challenges. And unless and until we do something about those challenges, we might be left behind again. And one of those critical challenges is the lack of infrastructure, and digital infrastructure in particular, and of course the backbone of all infrastructures for AI, electricity. For us to deal with this, we need to mobilize capital funds. And there's so much we've seen from the AFC, and by the way, they're here too, from the African Finance Corporation report, that they will have capacity to mobilize over $4 trillion from within Africa. And the challenge to all of us, everyone, government, private financial institutions, developing financial institutions on the continent, is how do we harness and bring this. So it's not just, I like this slide of Africa rising and all those things, so that we begin to mobilize and harness this capital to work for African people, so that we are not left behind in this next digital revolution.
All right, guys, let's round off with Ghana. Again, we previewed this series of central bank governors speaking at the IMF. Look at this chart. We put this chart together. I think it goes back to July of 2023. Your blue line is headline inflation. Your orange line is food inflation. At one point, July of 2023, Ghana was dealing with 54% food inflation, and look at how it has dramatically come down. I mean, they've cut interest rates by about 650 basis points since July of this year as a result of, again, people like to talk about textbook economics. The story in Ghana is the same in Nigeria. They've had to tighten monetary policy, and of course, they got a big bailout from the IMF because, they were, to some respects, fiscally irresponsible and they needed some help. Here is Dr. Johnson Asiama, who says basically Ghana is back. He's talking about the last 8 months in what's been happening in Ghana and the recovery. Take a listen.
It's been 8 months since we came into office, and just as you said, we came to meet a challenged economy in the sense that, remember, we had the domestic debt, issue in 2022. Fiscal policy was highly expansionary. It led to us exiting the international financial markets. There was resort to domestic financing. You remember all the sovereign downgrades that we had to suffer. And so we came into office with lots of liquidity, high inflation, exchange rate that was, depreciating widely. And I remember when we came in, there was talk about whether we should, cancel the program altogether. There were doubts as to whether we would be able to, carry on with the program and end it. But I'm happy to say that 8 months down the road, we have turned the corner. Ghana is back. Inflation, we met it at nearly 24%. Currently, it's down to 9.4%. We have seen a strong rebound in growth. We are running ahead of program targets for the year on almost everything. You name it, inflation, reserves build-up, economic growth, we are running ahead. And we are happy to announce that we will be able to exit the fund program come next year. And so far, so good. First 8 months has been revealing. We think that we have done a good job. We are getting all the upgrades from our rating agencies, which shows clearly that we are on the right path.
Yeah, and you can watch the full, we'll have more from that speech on the Global Business Report. Ghana, by the way, we're talking about how gold has been appreciating to past $4,000. Ghana, in 8 months, brought in about $8 billion added to their reserves from the appreciation of gold. That's our update for today. There's a regional report for Middle East and Central Asia, another one for Europe today, then an Afro-Exim Bank event, and then I'm coming home. That's it. We're done here.
To have you back in warm Lagos, but please keep warm, Rotus. But I think really, really great to hear that Africa is winning in Washington, D.C. From the contract signed or the agreement signed between Nigeria and Angola, and then coming to Africapitalism, chief advocate himself, Tony Elumelu there. I think that is brilliant. And I think more private sector involvement in development on the African continent, and then, of course, to Ghana. Thank you so much, Rotus, for the updates.